WNEMTV5 starts right now with breaking news.
And breaking news this noon, Saginaw police found a woman dead inside her home from apparent gunshot wounds. And detectives believe the woman's son may be the prime suspect. And police say her son later took his own life. Hello, everyone. We have a lot to get to, so thank you for joining us this noon. I'm Blake Keller. Now, Saginaw police say it happened at a Buena Vista Township home on North 21st Street. There, police found 48-year-old LaWanda Drake dead from apparent gunshots. Saginaw detectives say they are treating the incident as a murder. And just before 8 last night, officers responded to an apparent suicide at Wadsworth and Outer Drive in the township, not too far from the murder scene. Police say the victim was Drake's son, and police believe he's the one who shot and killed his mother. Now, this is a developing story. Stay with TV5 on air and online for developments in this case. The Genesee Human Oppression Strike Team needs help tracking down a person of interest. This is Keenan Eugene Reese Sr. on your screen. Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson believes Reese can help connect dots to help solve other crimes and find who is bringing dangerous drugs into the county. Last week, sheriff deputies conducted a search warrant at a home in Genesee County, finding over 1 kilo of fentanyl, among other drugs.
That is 100% pure fentanyl. All of this has translated into over 3,000 lethal doses that kept from hitting the street. Just that seizure, 3,000 lethal doses.
Swanson added those drugs are worth over $1 million. Reese is also wanted for questioning after a dead dog and 7 other malnourished dogs were found chained to a fence at a home in Flint with no food. If you've seen or know where Keenan Eugene Reese is, please call the Genesee County Sheriff or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. 2 people are dead and 2 others are now fighting for their lives after a single car crash in Tuscola County. State police say it happened around 12:20 early this morning on Bray Road in Arbella Township. A Ford Focus driven by a 21-year-old Mount Morris man drove off the road into a ditch, causing the car to flip and slam into a tree. The driver and a 23-year-old man from Traverse City died at the scene. The 2 other 20-year-old Clio residents are at the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Happening today, no charges have been filed yet against a local man for the death of his wife, but are expected sometime soon. Lonnie Mitchell remains jailed in Saginaw County after his arrest Thursday at a home in Flint. He's accused of murdering Shantina Davenport Mitchell, whose body was found Wednesday afternoon at the couple's home on Lamplighter Drive in Saginaw Township, which is not far from Hospital and McCarty. Police have not revealed the cause of death. They tell TV5 this is Saginaw Township's 2nd murder this year. Well, lawmakers averted a government shutdown ahead of last night's deadline, but now Democrats are struggling to move forward with 2 bills that are key to President Biden's agenda. Natalie Brand joins us from Capitol Hill with the latest on those negotiations.
House Democrats arrived back to the Capitol for a meeting behind closed doors Friday morning ahead of a possible vote today.
We understand that we're going to have to get everybody on board in order to be able to close this deal.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi had hoped to move forward on a $1 trillion bipartisan physical infrastructure bill on Thursday, but negotiations stalled late into the night.
We're laser focused on trying to make sure that we establish universal pre-K, free community college, expanding Medicare. That's what we want to deliver for people, and that's what we're fighting to protect.
Progressives in the House say they're not voting for that bill until an agreement is reached on a proposed $3.5 trillion separate bill for social spending that would fund programs like universal pre-K, an extension of the child tax credit, and paid family leave.
The resolution is not here in this caucus. The resolution is with 2 senators. We have been waiting for an offer to counter the $3.5 trillion that is on the table.
In the evenly divided Senate, Democrats cannot afford to lose a single vote, and moderate Democrats are raising concern about the price tag.
West Virginia's Joe Manchin told reporters Thursday he wants to see a much smaller social spending bill, suggesting a price tag of $1.5 trillion.
I've never linked the 2 bills together, and pray to God that let's look at each bill that's on merits.
Protesters arrived by small boats and kayaks at Manchin's houseboat in Washington, D.C. to voice their frustrations.
If you don't pass this, we're going to lose. They're not going to pass things like this for the people. They're not. This is our chance.
The White House said in a late-night statement they're closer than ever to an agreement, but not quite there yet. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
All right, and there's another crisis looming. Lawmakers must raise the debt ceiling by October 18th, or the government will be unable to pay its bills. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the consequences of not acting could be severe. More local news, a new waste contractor rolling out in Flint today as Priority Waste will be picking up garbage throughout the city. Now, the city chose Priority Waste as its new waste collector with a 3-year, $20 million deal. That's following a competitive bidding process. Even though Priority Waste was not the lowest bidder, the city says it felt the company was the most reliable. The city says the transition process will not impact garbage pickup. Republic Services was the city of Flint's former waste collector, but they broke off their contract with the city. And an update from Fenton, the city's transition to a new waste hauler also begins today. It says Green for Life has delivered a little more than half of the 65-gallon containers for trash and recycling. Homes that don't have those containers yet are asked to put your trash in secured bags and any recycling in a box. The city expects almost all containers to be delivered by Wednesday. And the first day of October means bow hunting season is officially open. Hunters heading out have until November 14th to bag a buck during bow season. Baiting and feeding is banned in the entire Lower Peninsula in the core chronic wasting disease surveillance area in the UP. For more information on deer hunting licenses, check stations, and much more, all you got to do is just go to the hot link section on WNEM.com. All right, let's head outside right now. More sunshine as we take a live look over downtown Flint and Saginaw. It's been a beautiful week, but will we have more sunshine this weekend? That is the big question. Joining us now from the First Warn 5 Weather Center's meteorologist Chris Eastlick. Hey, Chris.
I think a little bit, Blake. Overall, it does look like our next chance for some wet weather will come in late Saturday night, but the first half of Saturday actually looks pretty nice, and we're getting a good consensus that showers will hold off until at least the evening hours. Your First Warn 5 temperature map shows that we've got temperatures now in the upper 60s to low 70s, a little bit cooler in some of our counties to the north where we had a little bit slower of a start this morning thanks to some fog. But those should have a chance to warm up later this afternoon as well. And I think many of us will land in the 70s later today. Your winds coming out of the southwest about 5 to 10. So those not a factor again today. So if you are taking the boat out, looks like another calm day out on the Saginaw Bay, which is a far cry from what we experienced at times last week. Your First Warn 5 pinpoint Doppler radar live from MBS, all dry right now. Hardly a cloud to be found. Those showers that are to our west will eventually move in, just not today. Your hour-by-hour forecast through the rest of the day, mid-70s for highs this afternoon. We'll talk about just how much warmer we are tomorrow and a timeline on the showers. That's all coming up.
Chris, thank you. Saginaw Bay is looking good. A pharmaceutical company says their new pill significantly cuts down COVID-19 hospitalization risks. So coming up next, how the antiviral works and how much of an impact it has in our nationwide fight against COVID-19. Plus, ditching depression, the new study helping doctors better treat their patients as they attempt to lean off medications.